Today we're going to discuss the best order of eating specific foods to allow your glucose levels to stay lower, to keep it from spiking. Because when your glucose level spikes, it causes a whole cascade of problems. I want you to understand that too much glucose gets stored as glycogen. Additionally, once those stores are filled up, the liver converts it through lipogenesis into triglycerides. Those triglycerides get stored in the adipose tissue and they continue to grow. Excessive fat is not healthy. In this video, it will help you lose weight. It will give you a better understanding on what kind of foods am I eating and the order I'm eating them in. If you're eating simple refined sugars, your crackers, your cookies, your cakes, your sodas, and you're eating it or drinking them first, you're going to spike your blood sugar. You're going to have these problems. You're going to gain weight easier. But the first thing we need to do is eat our fiber. Fiber is number one because fiber will slow digestion down. Fiber will do wonderful things to keep that excessive glucose from surging into the cells. This will neutralize and balance your system tremendously, taking stress off the pancreas, so it doesn't have to kick up all that insulin. And by the way, the only time that you will gain fat is when you have high insulin levels. So if you keep those insulin levels normal and below, you're not going to have that problem. And by eating fiber first, it creates this barrier that reduces the speed at which sugar enters the bloodstream. And fiber-rich foods are vegetables, broccoli, spinach, kale, carrot, bell peppers, whole grains, quinoa, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, black beans, as well as certain fruits like your apples, pears, and berries. And the second thing in order would be your proteins. Proteins give you satiety, as well as that's the only macro where your body has to require more energy to assimilate it, which is great. But it slows digestion too. And it works along with fiber to slow that digestion down. The slower digestion rate means glucose is released into the bloodstream more gradually. And common protein foods are your meats, your chicken, turkey, fish, your tofu, your yogurt, as well as legumes. And the third kind of foods you want to eat in that order are your fats. Fats will give you lots of satiety. It's not going to affect your glucose levels, but whatever food you have in your tummy, it's going to definitely slow it down, slowing down the absorption of glucose into the cells. And your healthy fats are nuts and seeds, almond, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, avocados, olive oil, as well as your fatty fishes. And your fourth type of food that you want to eat are your complex carbohydrates. Your complex carbohydrates break down glucose slowly. They're larger molecules than the simple sugars. Not only that, when you eat that after your fiber, your protein, and your fats, it even breaks it down more slowly, which is to your advantage. And common foods are your brown rice, your whole wheat bread, your oats, your sweet potatoes, your beans, and chickpeas, which all have fiber as well. And lastly, the fifth food you're going to eat, the only one left, are your simple sugars. The worst foods to eat, but we all eat them. Our packaged foods, our candies, our sodas, our cookies, our baked goods. Pretty much everything that's packaged has simple sugars, a lot of our cereals. But here is the key. Remember, simple sugars spike up glucose, spike up insulin, causes that whole metabolic change in our body. But when you eat this after your fiber, your proteins, fats, and complex carbs, it's not going to spike up. It's going to spike up minimally, depending upon the quantity you're eating, which I advise not to overeat them. But it's very, very important that if you're eating these simple sugars that's going to spike your glucose, eat them last. Try to really understand the physiology. Number 1, fiber, 2, protein, 3, fats, 4, complex carbohydrates, and the last one are our simple sugars. And why is this so important? Because foods are chemicals. We have chemicals in our brain that affect hormones. And there's two main hormones, ghrelin and leptin. They should be balanced. What happens is ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, continues to rise when we eat bad. When we eat healthy, Ghrelin comes down and leptin comes up. That's our satiety hormone. We want leptin to be higher because the more higher leptin is, we're not going to crave foods. We're not going to crave sugars. We're going to feel full. We're going to start tasting our food better. We're going to appreciate what we're eating. We're going to feel better. But number one, fiber. Fiber is the key, not only for nutritional health when it comes to weight gain or weight loss, but cancers, cardiovascular problems, clogging within the arteries. Too much sugar gets eventually converted to too much triglycerides, too much cholesterol. You start making a whole cascade of problems. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please utilize this the best you can. Share it with your friends and family. Leave your comments below. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell.